What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Detroit Love, with a live video. What up, what up, what up, everybody? Just a little topic on my mind tonight. So many people waiting to buy their pinball. And so I have to ask the question, if you're waiting, should you just wait a little longer and get 2.0, right? 1.1, 1.5 pinball, you know? You know it's going to get better, right? I mean, it can only get better from here. This is 1.0 pinball, and we know how 1.0s do with everything, right? We drinking some grown folks drinks tonight. No water, no H2O. We'll do that later. So I'm liable to say anything on this thing. What up, everybody? Slaying young brats in the house. What's going on, people? Kev Gret. What's happening, everybody? What you saying there? What you saying there? My arcade room is full. Yeah, I mean, all of us are running out of space. And then I saw something on Facebook where there was uh what's his name? Damon. What's his name? What's the guy from Arcade One Up? Mr. D had some post. Another person posted had picked up a NBA Jam. Was like they going to release some stuff that's gonna have you guys spending your cash. What up, Al? Man, but I don't know. So I got the Legends pinball back here, and I'm going through the learning phase of getting my VPX running on it. And what up, Mark Wing, Steven? And there's some things that can be improved upon, right? I mean, they took the traditional Legends model and they put that HDMI port there and the USB ports right on the top. Uh, and that works fine and dandy for those other cabinets, but it's just a weird thing for those cores just to be hanging up on the top of your pinball. So that's a little wild. That should be on the back of the pinball machine. So obviously that's going to change. It's going to have to change with the next version, whether that's 1.1 or 2.0. North Jersey's in the house. Okay. Um, so it's going to get better. These arcade one-ups, they're going to get better. Their cabinets, we've already seen with their normal arcade cabinets, how they've transformed from 1.0 to what we get today, right? But that's 2 years later, right? So we don't know how long it's going to take to get to the next level. Uh, Toy Shock had the 1.0 a year ago, and they had the 1.2 and 1.3 is coming out. So they're creeping out some changes and some updates as they learn. And that's just it. Everybody is learning. Everybody is learning about this pinball, what we're willing to spend, how patient we're going to be to wait. Uh, they're learning what features they can squeeze out and keep the cost down. Uh, and so, you know, it can only get better from here. That's my point. And so, I have my uh, arcade one up um, Attack from Mars cabinet on pre-order from Best Buy, but they don't have any date. No idea when they're going to actually come out, right? So it could be it could be next month, it could be 6 months from now. I'm looking on two things. Yeah, that Toy Shock Mob man has been fantastic for this last year. Um, so the only downside, obviously, with um, uh, using the what they call OTG to have my VPX and the FX3 play on this bigger, nicer screen is I lose the haptic feedback and the physical nudging, right? I have to use the buttons again. But I've been enjoying the heck out of some pinball without all that, though I am definitely appreciating it now that I get to play it. Uh, and so I've said this from the start. We're starting here with 1.0. Well, let's do this hand here. We're starting here with 1.0, and then and then on this end of the scale, we have the homemade multi-thousand-dollar digital pinball cabinets, right? And in between there is a whole lot of options and a whole lot of price points and a whole and a whole lot of mystery on what they're to squeeze from this high end down to some middle ground, because obviously the 1.0 uh, is not the best thing, you know, that they can offer, but that's what we have, and that's what the market's providing at this point in time. Hey, well, the X Games company has said by March, first week in March, March 10th or March 5th or somewhere around early first 2 weeks of March, that everybody that's in waves one, two, and three should at least either receive them or at least got it in transit. Uh, and so that's a good thing. As far as the Arcade One Up, they don't have any release dates. And then you got these lines queuing up. We got all these orders queuing up. We got these reservations queuing up. We got these pre-orders uh, lining up, and they're not telling us anything, right? They're not telling us enough. There's a lot of people are impatient. A lot of people are wanting to get it to now. But so again, I asked the question: if you're gonna be waiting all this time, do you just wait a little longer and get a better cabinet? Um, so if you're not going to wait, then you have to put on your big boy underwear, right? And realize that at some point in time, in less than a year, just over a year, people are going to be getting hold of some better models, right? And so uh, don't be whining saying why didn't they provide it, because it's not here. It hadn't been thought of. They hadn't found the suppliers to get it at the price set for it to be included, and nor do they even know what needs to be included. The same way Arcade One Up came out with those Gen 1 cabinets, and they didn't think that people wanted backlit marquees, and they didn't think that people wanted the riser included with it, that they were going to just be content to sit on a chair, the dinner table chair, and play these arcades because the stools were too high for that, right? You know, uh, and so you know they're going to learn. They're going to learn and improve and get better. That's the bottom line. What that time frame is for any of them, we don't know that. We don't know that, just like we don't know the shipping. Um, um, man, yeah. So Mr. Chip is talking about I got my first hole in one on the golden tee. I can never know where to point on the golden tee today. That was pretty exciting. That was pretty fun. I definitely enjoyed that. Um, but yeah, so I'm just I hate having my toy shack in this state of disrepair. I got I don't know if you can see there, but I actually have the top off, and I bolted on the back glass so it wouldn't fall over. But that play field is just sitting on the top, And so when I'm playing, the screen actually sticks out about 4 to 5 inches, and my hands are deep into the table in order to hit the buttons. But it's not stopping me from playing because, man, I enjoy me some pinball, man. I think you guys gonna be excited for when you get these pinball machines 1.0 or whatever. Um, but I just wanted to bring the reality out here before people start whining and crying later, that it's only going to get better. So if you can't live with that, and you're going to be crying that you spent your 600 or 700 bucks, and now they came out 6 months later, or 3 months later, or a year later, or whatever the time frame is, that you got robbed somehow, right? Because you wanted to be on the bleeding edge. And this is definitely the bleeding edge, definitely with the Legends, the Act Games product, and even with the Arcade One Up and the Well Played and the Toy Shock, it's all new territory. So we buy it, we don't know what we're going to get, um, but the bottom line is, whatever you get, it's going to be better than what you had. right? It's going to be better than what you have. It's better than playing pinball on the Legends Ultimate or Gamer Pro. It's better than playing pinball on your Xbox or PlayStation. It's better than playing on your iPad. It's better than playing on your phone. It's better than playing on your Switch. You know, um, is a better option than those are. 1.0 is a better than option than any other way that you have presently to play some pinball. Uh, and so, that's the thing you have to contend with. It's definitely going to be better, but it's going to continue to get better, right? And so your average gamer says waiting is the best option unless your pockets are deep. I don't. I don't know that I don't think pinball is going to get cheaper like we've seen with the arcade one up cabinets and those things. I just don't think that because they're going to have to be squeezing more features into it as time goes on. So I think it's going to be um, like the PC you see at Best Buy, right? The computer is like they have that certain price set that they have locked in, and when people start buying it with at this current model, then they're going to add a little more memory or add a little faster processor, but keep that price the same. So they're going to get rid of the old stock and give you the next stock with the same price set, and that's what I believe they're going to do with this uh, pinball because each time they're going to have to try and find how do I get more haptic feedback? How do I get better performance? How do I get faster games or better games? So it's only going to get better. Um, my pockets are deep, but I have holes in the bottom. Man, uh, my wife's gonna kill me when these boxes start showing up here. I'm gonna have to uh, try and get my daughter to take her out somewhere. Once I get into the cave, that old thing. This thing's been here for I can't even remember how long this thing's been in here. Um, Once it's over a day old, my memory I can't remember past a day old, so I can't tell you how long this cabinet's been down here. She still hadn't seen. She saw the box when the Star Wars got delivered, because that's the one day of the week I have to work in the office. That's the day they shipped it or they delivered it, and she just happened to work from home that day. We had like a snow baby storm, blizzard, whatever it was. And so she decided to stay home. I had to go in the office, and they decided to drop off my Star Wars while she was here. So I was cracking up. She texted me. She was like, "Don't buy any more arcade cabinets." And I just texted her back, "Hello, hello, hi." That's all I'm saying. I cannot tell a lie. So don't ask me any questions, and I'll tell you no lies. Yeah, it is an expense. I mean, just think about this. 2 years ago, roughly 2 years ago, we had none of these things. And some of you guys might have had a couple of full size, but we had none of these cabinets. Now, in just a couple of months, I'm gonna have 10 cabinets in here. This is ridiculous. I see why my wife is getting upset. Um, you know, and, and it's not that she's upset, and it's not that I'm taking funds out of our normal, coffers. You know, it just bugs her because she don't know what these things cost. She's not searching the web and looking for things. But she knows they cost something, and she always likes my money to go where she wants to go. So you know, so she don't know. So if she add up, even if they cost $200 a piece or $300 a piece or $100 a piece, she knows that adds up. If I got 10 cabinets down here, that's some money that she could have bought a new um, washer and dryer with or something else. Um, Now she's the trip planner, so she plans all the trips. If it was up to me, I would be doing none of that. So I am thankful that she does that, and she needs that cash to make those plans for us to go to all the exciting places she always finds for us. Yeah, see, I'm fortunate to have a basement here in Michigan, and uh, the basement is as big as my first floor. So I don't know what I got down here. Thousand, thousand, 1,100 square feet down here in the basement. So I have tons of space. I've kind of sectioned it off. The pantry's over there, the gym's over there, my office is over there. I had to split up my two workspaces because I had to separate my job stuff from my space here. So I can get away from work and come into my space. And I even I have this what do you call it, green screen cloth, and I had it out behind me so that just like you guys don't like seeing those plastic Dexter walls there. Um, People at work. Originally, I was here, and so when I was at work, they're like, "Hey, where you at? The arcade?" So, so that wasn't a good thing for the video conferencing. So I moved it over there. I put the green screen up, but the green screen was so long, I and so I have this other like stand that I can put a green screen on, and so now I made like a little room over there. So it's green screen on the wall, and then it's a green screen divider wall that makes that office like a room. And so when I'm in there, I have the one light above me, and my work and everything gets done. So it works out pretty good. So I'm gonna ask the question here for everybody. What are you guys doing? For you guys just in here in queue, have you purchased a pinball yet? Are you waiting? Have you purchased but waiting, or have you purchased and received? Um, so what's your plans here? Which cabinets are you getting? Are you going to get a 1.0? Are you waiting? Do you have the toy shock already? What's going on? And while you guys are thinking about that, I bought this Tempest. That's the Legacy Atari. Um, so I got that on pre-order with, is that Best Buy or was that GameStop? All right, so here we go. Mr. Big Daddy Cool is waiting on his ATF-M. Oh, you got a date already? Oh, interesting. Who'd you get that from? I don't have a date. Got Attack from Mars. I already said that. Sorry. Got the At Games Legends Pinball and the Attack from Mars. I have a Toy Shock. Okay. Well, yeah, man, you guys got some deep pockets. No doubt. I got all the big ballers in here tonight. Another Attack from Mars. You know, again, Hollywood. I don't know the answers to that. I don't know. I don't know when it's coming out or what features it's going to have. But the reality says at some point in time it's coming out, right? Um, and and at games is very aggressive. Again, I'm not talking for anybody at games. I hadn't talked to anybody about this. In my opinion, um, with a little rum and ginger beer on top of it. Um, yeah, I mean, no doubt it's going to come out, but this year or next year, I have no idea about that, but I know that it's all of these aren't the last cabinets that these guys are going to make. Well played, I don't know. I don't know about well played. They don't do a whole lot of talking. They talk to Cool Toy, and that's only people that they give some information to. So I have no idea what um, if they're going to have another one, but obviously Arcade One Up's going to have more cabinets, coming out. At Games definitely is not leaving this game, and Toy Shock, I don't believe they're going anywhere soon either. So they're obviously going to be coming out with some better features. Um, Again, I don't think that price set. I don't think the price is going to change. I just talked about that. Um, Yeah, but see the beauty with at games is because they're connected machines. Um, uh, what you buy at 1.0 isn't necessarily the last of the story, right? Because they send out firmware updates and all that stuff. So whatever they can squeeze out of a cabinet, you know, I definitely believe they'll be able to do that. Um, and it's good to see that Arcade One Up is doing some similar things, be it through USB sticks and jumping through some hoops to do so. But at least they're seeing the necessity of having to fix bugs that they've had and even add games, right? So Arcade One Up has added games, obviously add games all the time. I I got an update on my ALU two in a row about a new game pack. I have no idea what that game pack contains. I don't know why they don't, have a little descriptive thing ahead of it that will tell me what I'm updating to or adding or losing. I don't know what the heck is going on with it. So it'd be nice if they explained that a little better. Um, yeah, I have no idea what that announcement is on February 11th, but it's just around the corner, so I guess we'll all learn together. Um, but yeah, so yeah, so guys, I'm just talking. I don't know I don't know any more than you guys do about all of this stuff, but I just the reality speaks to it that it's going to be, a while for some of these things to come, and at some point in time they're going to make some updates. So it'd be I'll give you an example. When I bought uh, my iPads years ago, I bought I had the original. I still have the original somewhere. I had the original. So this is my third iPad, and I bought this used. I will not buy anything brand new from Apple anymore. Those guys are busters since Steve Jobs has been gone. But um, I bought the iPad 1, and then I bought the iPad 3. And back then, the iPad 1 and iPad 3 had that big wide charging connector, whatever it was called. And I bought the iPad 3, and then no more than 3 or 4 months later, they came out with the iPad. They didn't call it 3, 4, whatever, and it had the new small connector and whatever features. But it wasn't even 3 to 4 months. At the most, it was 4 months, and I was pretty pissed about that, man. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just bought this thing, and now you come out with a new one, right? So that's the risk you take in buying, products from anybody, but it definitely doesn't swallow well when you're on the bad end of it. Obviously, if you wait and you buy the 1.5 or the 2.0 and you got all these nice features that we don't have, that I don't have on this Legends behind me, um, or even the Toy Shock that I had, you know what I mean? Or this Attack from Mars cabinet I'm getting from Arcade One Up, you know, you can't help but be a little salty. But if it's a year, 2 years later, then you can swallow that a lot better. But if it's 6 months or less or something like that, um, it could be it could be hard to swallow on that. But let's see what you guys are talking about in here. Yeah, so Dylan, where would that be? I have no idea. I mean, obviously we can get this chat going on any of the groups that we are all in. Um, the only thing is, you know, if you go to At Games group and talking about all this, and if you go to Arcade One Up and you're talking about all this different companies, if you go to Toy Shocks group and talk about it, you go to Well Played, then you have people chiming in like, yeah, you shouldn't be talking about this here and all that crazy stuff. So even this video, I didn't post it in At Games. I didn't post it in Well Played. I didn't post it in Arcade One Up's, you know, site. I just posted it to either the three-quarter scale groups or my own group or uh, cabinet builders and VPN people. So, but I just wanted to have the conversation. Nothing deep. No real revelations here. Just wanted to hang out with you guys. uh, for a little bit tonight before we get into the weekend. So what are you saying there? Brad said they. Okay, I'm not familiar with uh, that product there, so I'll have to check that out. So I flagged your message, so it'll be up on the video for me to remember, because my memory will not. I won't say we have a lot of snow. Well, actually, it's snowing right now, so I don't know what's out there. When my wife came home, there was more snow that I didn't know was coming. So there's a storm that I never listen to the weather. I never pay any attention. And fortunately, I don't have to drive into work. I work in the basement here tomorrow, so um, I don't know, but we have plenty of snow that's still on the grass. I mean, it's like a winter wonderland out there. So what happens is we get snow, and then we clear off our driveways and walkways, and streets get plowed, and that gets shoved up on the grass, and then it just stays there until the next snow comes, and then it just keeps layering up. So the snow is not leaving. You might get a bald spot here from the sun, like we have some pretty hot sun the last few days, and so it might melt a little bit of snow. The people across the street might lose a little more snow because they're facing south. I'm facing north, and they get the morning or the most of the day sun. Um, I get more sun in the backyard, but none of that stuff back there is melting. Maybe just outside my door. Um, who I got for the Super Bowl. This year I did not pay much attention to football, and I'm usually gaining my football weight. Doing all my snacking, watching the games in the fall to winter. But this year I have not paid much attention at all. And my buddy just gave me text me earlier and said where a friend of ours, we normally just have a real small gathering, like 4 to 5 people, if that. But we've been doing it for years, and he just told me that we're not going over to Melvin's house this year for the Super Bowl. So I don't know. It's probably just going to be me and Damon then this year, but watching the game. But I have not been on the bandwagon, so I barely even know who's even playing. I know it's Brady playing with his new team, playing at home. I do know that. Um, and playing against the young cat. I can't think of his name right now. Mahomes. So um, Brady's got enough rings, so my heart would say let the young guy. I believe he has one, or he's been to Super Bowl once. I can't remember. Give the young brother another ring. He's gonna have to fight for it, to win it, and get it. But then it would be awesome to see because Brady and them are playing at home. It's the first time ever the football Super Bowl is at the house of the participant. So that would be pretty cool. So either way, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting game, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. Michael B, the game genie is in the house. What up, brother? Oh goodness, what in the world? What did you miss? We were just talking about some pinball. That's all. Do you buy now or wait? We know you can't help but buy everything that's made to man. The only thing that stops you from buying anything is they won't ship it to Canada. So we were just talking about everybody with the deep pockets are in here tonight, and Michael B. Well, there's not much more to say there. Well, I'm glad your baby girl is getting well. I know you and your wife takes great care of that little lady. Well, so Dylan, so obviously there's sauce for the pinball on that you can pour onto the pinball, but it's not the right sauce, right? It's not pinball sauce. It's arcade sauce. So hey, I, I say it all the time. Once these cabinets get into people's hands, you're going to see a lot of creativity. You're going to see a lot of things that we just didn't imagine happening, and that's going to inspire these manufacturers, these companies, to make better products the next time around. And that's the point of this live show tonight. It's just discussion about it because uh, inevitably the next versions are going to come out and they're going to be better than what they are today. So, but I think a lot of that inspiration, as it has been with the gaming cabinets, is that a lot of the inspiration is going to come from you guys, from the fans, from the buyers, from the customers, from the consumers of this. They're going to learn a lot from us, and they're going to make better products as a result of it. Mike Harcourts. Oh boy. Okay. So we had a few people that's not buying the pinball cabinets at all right now. So they're gonna have the opportunity for the 1.1 through the 2.0s, right, in the coming future. I know Michael B's got a couple of pinball cabinets going his way. See what else I miss here. Hoping that the Arcade One Up announcement, which is what February 11th, is more pinball machines like Universal Studios. You know, have you guys played any of the Universal Studio uh, games on Zen Studios? What would that be? E.T., right? Is E.T. Back to the Future? Uh, I don't have all of them right, off the top of my head, but those cabinets suck. I'm just telling you. The- I don't know. And is Jaws Universal as well? Jaws is probably one of the better ones, but it's still just it's just done some weird things with that. I mean, that Back to the Future. There's a Back to the Future on the VPX that's pretty decent, but that thing that they have on FX3, man. I don't know who okayed that, man. That thing looks terrible. What do you guys think? For the people that have FX3, what are your favorite tables to play? Well, again, Kev Grant, you saying you're not a fan of the video game pinball. Yeah, that I'm the same way. Those those they if you look at a lot of those Zen tables, when it pulls up, it just doesn't scream pinball to you, other than it has a ball getting hit by some paddles. But the whole play field is just crazy. But you talk about the um, Attack from Mars and the Gone Fishing, and those ones, that's aside from the little animations that they put on there, those things are pretty close to um, as real as you're going to get in a digital form, right? Um, hey, thanks a lot, man. Scarpad, man, I appreciate um, the super chat. So, what do you think about building your own cab? Well, I have no carpentry skills. If you look at anything that I've cut a hole in, cut, sawed off something, it leaves a lot of room for improvement. You know, it makes it almost impossible to sell it. But that's not true with the arcade one up when I'm just drilling holes to put buttons in. But just with this, where is that? Where I can right here, this toy shack, just for that back glass, I had to cut out a space for this bigger monitor to mount in there, and it's imperfections, So anything I build is going to be imperfect. Um, so I personally, I've built a cabinet, just the internals of the cabinet. I can build the internals of the cabinet, no problem. Building the outside and the actual cabinet, if I built it, one leg would be too short, the other one be too long, it'd be lopsided. I had to be sticking stuff under it to try and get it to be level. You know what I mean? That's not where my expertise is. I'm a computer guy. I'm a techie. Thing I'll leave that to other folk. So buying a cabinet that I like and that I can just put the stuff into. That being said, why specifically for that? And price has always been an issue. Price has been the issue why I hadn't, you know, bought any of the kits for cabinets. The neat thing about the arcade one up and the toy shop when they came out, those guys priced those things as such a value that it was well worth gutting it out completely, using just to build what you want, and it had great graphics on it and it looked nice, and you know what I mean. And so if you didn't do anything else with it, it was a presentable package that you could enjoy either the arcade games or the video games or the pinball games in that cabinet. So what do I think about building my own cabinet? I would love to do it, but I have zero interest in building a full size. You know how big pinball cabinets are? Those things are ginormous. They're ridiculous, and so if you guys are griping about having room for these cabinets, you just, those things are huge. So I have no desire of building, period, from scratch. If I was to build from scratch, it definitely wouldn't be a um, a full size version. I'm content with the three-quarter scale size. I like that size. I'm 5'7". I'm not a big guy like some of you guys are, and so the guys and with these three-quarter scale things. But for me, they're the perfect size. So I have no desire to take up more space and have these big things. Um, Damon Cook's always trying to get me to buy a full size cabinet all the time. Every time I talk to him, he's sending me texts. Hey, I got this guy. He's got the cabinet you want. Yeah, I want the cabinet, but I don't want that 30, 40-year old cabinet with rat pee and aging wood and all that wickedness. All that wickedness. So thanks for the super chat. No, I have no interest in building my own. I'll start from someone else's creation and hack it to be what I need it to be. Yeah, now see, Game Room Solutions kits, the price they've come down because they now have competition. When they didn't have competition, those things were priced so ridiculous that you know, they were the only people in town doing it for the most part, right? So now people have options, and when you have options, that breeds competition. When you have competition, that makes the price go down. Um, yeah, the V-Pins, there's with this Toy Shock or even with this Legends, when I get done with it, I can get haptic feedback put into it. I can put the nudging into it. All that stuff is. This is just the same thing as what the cabinet builders have made. So all those options that they have is available to me. Now with the Toy Shock, the issue becomes in how much space or how much room you have inside that cabinet. That thing is jam packed with components, and I don't have a whole lot of room for adding too much more in there. Um, and whatever you add in there requires to be powered. That power stuff creates heat, and you know what I mean. So that's what the issue when you have those smaller cabinets. So that's the good thing when you have a full size huge one, 40-inch playfield, 32-inch back glass, is you have more room to put those components into. Yeah, a lot of people missed out on that. That thing. I mean, by the time Arcade One Up actually announced it to people who signed up to be notified, they were gone. And we don't know what that number is. Do they have 100 of them? Do they have 1,000 of them? We don't know what that number is. So the fact that it sold out super fast is still, a bummer for the people that weren't able to get in. But we don't have no idea what that number is, and we don't know when they're going to release more uh, cabinets to be purchased. So Michael B says the pre-order was a mistake. I think the third one with Jason like me can keep an eye out for Best Buy again this week. So Michael B, what are you saying? Why do you think the pre-order was a mistake? You're saying you didn't think that they were supposed to release the pre-order yet? That they did it early? Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying it was a mistake in doing it in general? I'm not sure what you're saying there. Yeah, well, Scott, my most favorite cabinets are the vertical. Um, and pinball is vertical as well, so it fits in to that scheme for me. But the verticals are what gets most of my play, either that my Galaga modified or my pinball. But again, when I have people over, then the horizontals, two-player games obviously get more play. And then people like what they like, right? So people gravitate and ask, "Hey, what's on here?" And they'll play a whole lot of different things. Yeah, I saw P Dub's message about it, and so I acted on it because I knew immediately when I saw that if I didn't act now, I would be in the group of people complaining that they didn't give me enough time, there wasn't enough orders available, yada yada yada, right? Because I've been saying that ever since they announced pinball, when it starts coming out, the demand is going to be way higher than the supply, and that's holding true, and that's I think that's going to be true for a while. So, um, and you think about even in store, if these things make it to be in the physical store, which I doubt for the most part that they will, because just for the pure size of them, they're huge boxes, and so in physical brick and mortar stores, space is premium is you know I got all kinds of pop up here. You know they you know they have to put in the space what's moving and what's selling. And if they have doubts about it, if there's something they're not familiar with, they're not familiar with pinball. Everybody's learning about pinball. They will know about pinball soon, um, but not right now. But even if it does go in the stores, you're gonna have the same issues you had like with all these cabinets. You go into the store and they never have what you want, if they have any, because they're going to fly off the shelves if they do stock them in the store. So that's the point I'm making. Even if they do make it in the store, they make room for them. Uh, People are going to grab them up as quickly as they can. So it still won't make it that much easier, other than just blind luck that you'll find them in the store. Uh, I think it makes sense for retailers to make it available online. Uh, I think it makes sense to make it available online. That way they don't have to use up the space. They can just keep them in their warehouse. And since they already have distribution to those stores, for them to ship it to you is not a big deal, because they would still ship it to the store, right? So they'll ship it to the store and have those guys deliver it, or whatever distribution they use for getting stuff to the stores, they can get that box to you, and it doesn't cost you. That's why it's free shipping, because they already have channels and systems in place to move that merchandise at a much lower cost than other folk. Well, I'm not sure where you got that from, Al. I don't think that's been on the table. Mike Hawkhurts. I won a spinner from Glenn on a recent episode of the Super Game Room Dues that has arrived, and it's beautiful. That is pretty awesome. That is pretty. Glenn's a great guy, man. He loves supporting the community. He's always contributing to, for these prizes and things like that. So he's a good guy. He's a good guy for certain, and he's got some good products. do you think? Nintendo would would ever release? Nintendo is a weird creature. They can print their own money, right? They make something, it's going to sell out, and they like to play those little games. No pun intended. They 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 like that for people to collect their stuff and be waiting for the stuff, and they don't want to oversaturate the market with the products. They want to make enough for them to make whatever bottom line dollar amount that they have in mind, and then they're content to wait uh, years to the next need for cash. um, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody, as much as we all love these things and have rooms full of these things, the masses still don't know that these things exist. So, um, but it's getting closer. It's getting closer to, you know, to uh, the masses knowing more about this, right? So obviously, at some point in time, it's going to pique their interest. If it's not on their radar now, at some point in time, it's going to pique their interest, and and they know if they make it, we will buy it. So, um, do I think they ever will? I think it's plausible. Is possible. Says I want to pick it up at the store, ship the store, and see it and load it myself. Um, like with this Legends gamer, I had to get it from the garage down here. I mean, I have a dolly, so but I can't run the dolly through the house, so um, it's heavy, but it's doable. Now, what size car you have? 'Cause it's a huge box, because the body is already assembled, right? So that would be the issue that you have. I know sometimes with those, even the arcade one-up boxes, the ones with the riser and the stool, those boxes got, for people with smaller cars became an issue. Thanks, Wicked Gamer. Appreciate you guys you coming in, chatting with me. What up, what up, what up? Yep, 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 yep. And I hadn't pre-ordered anything previously. I always just waited. I always just waited until I came across it. Well, I pre-ordered the Toy Shock. That's not true. I forgot about that. I did pre-order. That was the first thing I pre-ordered. All the other cabinets I just waited. And then so now I have two pre-orders in queue right now. I have the Atari Legacy um, Tetris or Tempest cabinet, and I have this Attack from Mars on pre-order. So it's the first time I've ever had two pre-orders at one time for sure. For sure. Yeah, I think we all agree that Nintendo should do some cabinets for sure. Um, I would definitely grab the Donkey Kong. And how many games would they put on that? They got a crap load of games. Donkey Kong should definitely have Popeye, right? It should have Popeye on it. Um, what else should they have with the Donkey Kong cabinet? Donkey Kong Jr., um, Popeye. Yeah, and that's the concern with these pre-orders because um, GameStop has done this before. They've canceled people's pre-orders because they were later informed that they're not getting any more inventory for the pre-orders that they have. So that sucks. So yeah, just because we have these things pre-ordered doesn't mean that they won't cancel these things on us. So nothing's set until until we receive them. So anything's possible there. Yep, Donkey Kong 3, Paperboy. I don't know, Paperboy. I can never play that game. That thing's just always so difficult to navigate. At the original Paperboy, what was the controls on it? Was it a trackball? Was it a joystick? What was it? I can't remember it. Whatever it was, it's been difficult, and anything I've played it on since on emulation with the normal controls has been ridiculous. Oh yeah, Punch Out, man. That would be a nice cabinet. Are you playing? Come on now. Yeah, a Duck Hunt was is. I mean, I would like to see a little more modern Duck Hunt, but obviously they couldn't put Duck Hunt on the Donkey Kong cabinet unless they gave you a gun, right? Mrs. Kong's Are Us. Um, that was a silly video. Um, you know, it distorts the picture once once you went into a wide screen. But he had to do what he had to do. Obviously, the screen is too small, so I think everybody wants to get a bigger screen. But in the video, he or she or both said that they went through several different monitors before they could get one to work. So that's the issue. That's the bleeding edge of technology, right? So somebody's going to come across one that's a better ratio and a better fit. But we'll see. But I understand why they did it, and it's pretty cool that they did it. But I don't think that most people would do that same mod. Now, unless Nostalgia did his, he did it. If Nostalgia does a mod, um, then I think everybody would do it. He has his little hairy arms, and he's putting it up on that screen. Be out of control. Ah, that's a little inside joke. We keep trying to get Nostalgia to do a video on his big buck, similar to the way Mrs. Kong's Are Us did hers. I don't know. I'm not gonna do that, P Dubs. You already know that. The attack on Mars is just gonna be walk and play, walk up and play, turn it on and play. I mean, because I already got this guy, and I got this one. I'm poking around with the OTG or the OCP or the LMLP or whatever at Games has got me doing over there. So there's no need for me to mod the attack from Mars. Uh, I like the way that cabinet looks. The those games that they have on there are uh, decent games to play, decent tables to play. So I don't see a need to do that. It's a 24 inch. If I'm going to mod something, I'm going to mod something bigger. I already have a 24 inch. I've already been playing a 24 inch. Um, so I wouldn't want to put VPX into another 24 inch screen. So if I'm going to mod, then I'll have to mod the um, the larger screen. Um, I am definitely a fan of Game Mom 77. She has one of the coolest game rooms and the coolest mods. I mean, she just does a great job. I have I have never I haven't seen this coin box mod, but I'll definitely have to go check that out and see it. I did see a post from her that was talking about that she's got a year. So congratulations, Game Mom 77, for your year into the game. She has she just does a great job with the videos. That's smooth talk, and she got some cool ideals and some nice things to share. B does, but just wonder, man. It's like if you going, a lot of people are waiting. They're waiting and waiting. Should they just wait longer? What's your input, man? Should they just wait longer for 1.1, 1.5, 2.0 pinball? I mean, hell, by the time they get it, the new one's gonna be the new one's got to be in production by the time some of these people get these cabinets. That's just something to consider. Without a doubt, they don't want me saying that because they want you to buy that so they can invest more into the next mod for the improvements for the next guy behind you. Hey, come on now. Yeah, her kick plates are kick ass. Oh, boop! I just lost money. Yeah, the kick plates are sweet, sweet, sweet. I'm down with. Hey, you know me, P Dubs, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I always play Attack from Mars for sure. Where I probably played Arabian Nights and Medieval Madness more than I had. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're really cool tables. So that's the thing. 300 tables, 300 plus tables on your pinball. You can't play all of them. You just can't. So that's the bottom line. If they can give you a dozen or so decent tables, and that's why I like the Tech from Mars. I don't think they got a couple of tables on there that's questionable. That Hurricane one, I'm not a big fan of that one. Um, but they have in those 10 tables, right? Not 12. Uh, is that you can spend weeks on one table perfecting it and getting better, what I mean, and not even think about playing some of the other tables. And then when you do, it's like, oh wow, this is a great table, and you can spend that same amount of time. So that's what's cool about that cabinet. I don't think the Marvel and I don't think the Star Wars. P Dubs, you let me know if you disagree because you got the 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 other cabinet. I don't I don't I don't see the the same type of replayability with those tables. But again, I have to say everything with a grain of salt. You don't have any other better way to play pinball, so you're going to play what you have. The Toy Shock for over a year now, and I see my internet starting to get crazy on me. They've had the Toy Shock for over a year, and it's just fine. And people are enjoying that. When people come over to their house, they're enjoying that. So I'm saying that there's better tables than any of the cabinets that's out. There are better tables available through other methods than any of the tables that are coming out. But they're definitely the tables that are coming out. Some tables are better than the others. There's no way to say that any different. I have already been through the whole pinball arcade collection for years, but I will be happy to relive those Williams game tables if you ever get it. Yeah, again, we've been playing these Steam games on a computer and all these other gadgets, iPads and phones and whatever. You know, being able to stand up at a cabinet and play pinball the way it was designed to be played has a lot of value. Has a lot of value. Even if the table sucks, you can find enjoyment in it. Uh, and so, again, like I said, and I continue to say, if you want some pinball, you may not necessarily get the one you want. But if you want one, you're gonna have to put an order into somebody because the supply and demand is on two different levels at this point in time. Or you just wait and wait and wait and wait for 2.0 and and all those cabinets and you have some more options and hopefully there's the supply issues resolved and they have more options for you. But you're definitely going to enjoy whatever you receive. Yep, my wife is gonna get me for certain. Now, obviously, with the VR pinball, you're gonna have to have a beefy computer. Um, and I have an old what's the Wii with no, what's the Xbox little camera, and at some point in time I'll play around with it. But time is a precious resource, and I don't have a whole lot of it. Al, that's something to consider. Then I won't have any. Oh, I better stop here. I'm gonna get in trouble. Let me switch to something else. Let's see. Oh, see now, Brad. See, I just put this out there. Now, when your wife watch my video, you're gonna be in trouble. So, will the pinball scores transfer over to the Legends Ultimate Cabinet leaderboard once they go live? I, I think right now they're still separate. I think it's like you have high scores on those particular cabinets, but they're working behind the scenes to figure that all out and get that all going. So at some point in time, all of those cabinets scores, I believe, are going to become one, but I don't know if that's really fair because the pinball is going to play differently than the At Games Legend, the Legends Ultimate is going to play different than the Gamer Pro. I don't know. I think they really still should be separate because you know some of those platforms is easier. Okay, it's easier. Happy wife, bigger arcade. Okay, Todd. All right, there. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. And we're at an hour here now, so I know you guys got stuff to do. I don't know. It seems like I've done so much this evening, and it's only 9:18 here. It's like usually I'll do one thing I want to do, and I look up and it's midnight. So I'm doing good. The weekend's coming. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys. We got the Super Game Room Dudes show tomorrow, 9 p.m. Be there or be rectangular. I appreciate you guys spending a little time. P Dubs, thanks for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Um, Good night, guys, for sure. So, hey, guys, thanks for watching. I'm almost at 4,000 subscribers. Almost at. I'm pretty sure all of you guys, you loyal flans. You guys are loyal flans. So I know you guys are already subscribed. But if you guys can share some of my videos, you can share some of my videos and say, hey, go subscribe to this clown because he's out of control. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, and we can get to 4,000 subscribers here. I appreciate that, guys. You know I appreciate you guys. I love talking about this stuff. I love that you guys come and spend some time with me. And until next time, I'll see you on the web. And go play some golden tea and try and get that hole in one. That was an incredible feeling. All right, guys. Have a good night.